There's a question almost no one asks about money. Not how to make it, not how to invest it, but whether becoming wealthy is ethical. Is building wealth selfish? Does getting rich mean someone else loses? And can you pursue financial freedom without harming the world around you? We're told money corrupts, that profit equals greed, that wanting more somehow makes you morally suspicious. Yet at the same time, we expect the world to be improved by people with resources, influence, and power. So which is it? Is wealth the problem? Or is it who holds it, and how it's built? Today we're going to explore the ethical dilemma of wealth, and why prosperity and positive impact don't have to be opposite. In fact, when done right, they may be inseparable. For many people, wealth doesn't just feel difficult to achieve. It feels morally uncomfortable. There's a quiet tension we grow up with. On one side, we want freedom, security, and options. On the other, we're taught that wanting money makes us selfish, greedy, or not a good person. So the mind creates a conflict. If I pursue wealth, maybe I become someone I don't respect. This isn't accidental. It's cultural conditioning. From movies to school to casual conversations, wealth is often portrayed as something suspicious. The rich are villains. Profit is exploitation. Success must come at someone else's expense. And to be fair, sometimes it does. We've all seen wealth built through corruption, manipulation, or extraction. But here's where the confusion begins. We take bad examples of wealth and turn them into judgments about wealth itself. That creates guilt, and guilt quietly sabotages ambition. People stop asking how to build wealth responsibly, and instead reject wealth altogether. But avoiding money doesn't make you ethical. It just removes you from the game where decisions are actually made. The discomfort around wealth isn't proof that money is wrong. It's proof that we've never been taught how to separate wealth from wrongdoing. And until you understand that distinction, you'll always feel torn between doing well and doing good. Here's a truth that makes many people uncomfortable. Poverty is not virtuous. Struggle does not automatically create morality. And lacking money does not make someone ethically superior. This idea is dangerous because it confuses suffering with goodness. When people are under constant financial stress, they don't become more ethical, they become more reactive. They accept bad conditions, they tolerate unhealthy systems, they make short-term decisions just to survive. That's not a moral failure, it's human nature. Poverty limits choices, and when choices are limited, ethics become harder to uphold. Wealth, on the other hand, creates optionality. It gives you the ability to say no, to walk away from exploitation, to invest in better systems instead of being trapped inside broken ones. The world doesn't improve when good people stay poor. It improves when capable, thoughtful people gain leverage. This is the uncomfortable part no one likes to say out loud. If ethical people reject wealth, wealth will always concentrate in the hands of those who don't care how it's used. Money doesn't create bad values. It reveals them. And the ethical question isn't whether wealth should exist. It already does. The real question is, who should control it? Because avoiding money doesn't protect society. It just removes responsible people from positions of influence. And that's not morality. That's abdication. Ethical wealth is not built by taking more. It's built by creating more. This is where most people get confused. They imagine wealth as a zero-sum game. If someone wins, someone else must lose. But the largest fortunes in history were created by expanding value, not extracting it. Ethical wealth follows a simple principle. You get rich by solving real problems for many people. When you improve efficiency, access, quality, or understanding at scale, money becomes a byproduct, not the objective. Think about platforms that educate, tools that save time, technology that lowers cost. systems that increase productivity. No one is forced to participate. People choose to engage because they receive value. This is why voluntary exchange matters. Ethical wealth is opt-in. If people don't benefit, they don't pay. The second element is scale without exploitation. Technology, automation, and digital systems allow one person's effort to help thousands, without grinding human labor into the ground. And the third element is long-term alignment. Ethical wealth grows when incentives are aligned over time, when your success depends on others continuing to benefit. This is why ownership matters. This is why systems matter. This is why leverage matters. You're not extracting value from someone's weakness. You're building something people want to support. Ethical wealth isn't about being perfect. It's about designing structures where winning doesn't require someone else to lose. And once you understand this, the moral tension around money begins to dissolve. But this is where the ethical dilemma becomes real. Wealth doesn't just create opportunity. It creates responsibility. Not legal responsibility. Moral responsibility. When you gain leverage, your decisions ripple outward. What you invest in. What you ignore. What you normalize. What you reward. Money is a voting system. Every dollar supports a set of incentives. Ethical wealth isn't about feeling guilty for success. It's about being intentional with influence. There's a difference between charity and impact. Charity treats symptoms. Impact changes structures. True responsibility comes from building things that work without constant intervention. Systems that empower rather than create dependency. That might mean investing in sustainable businesses, supporting ethical innovation, creating opportunities instead of handouts, designing assets that outlive your personal involvement. This is where many people get it wrong. They think ethics means giving everything away, or rejecting wealth entirely. But walking away from leverage doesn't make the world better. Using leverage wisely does. Wealth, when guided by conscience, becomes a tool for long-term improvement. Not because it's flashy, but because it shapes incentives quietly every day. The real responsibility of wealth isn't to look moral. It's to build things that don't require constant moral correction. And that's a much harder and more meaningful standard. Here's the truth at the center of the ethical dilemma of wealth. Money is not a moral identity. It's a tool. It doesn't make you good or bad. It makes you more of what you already are. When ethical people avoid wealth, they don't make the world fairer. They simply leave power, leverage, and influence in the hands of those who don't think twice about how it's used. Prosperity and positive impact are not opposite. They are connected. When wealth is built through value, systems, and long-term thinking, the goal isn't to worship money. And it isn't to reject it either. The goal is to understand it well enough to use it responsibly. To build prosperity without exploitation. To create leverage without guilt. To improve systems instead of just criticizing them. The world doesn't need fewer wealthy people. It needs better ones. People who understand incentives. Who respect long-term consequences. Who build things that still work when they're gone. If this perspective resonates with you, subscribe to the channel. This is where we talk about money, systems, and freedom without hype and without simplistic answers. And if you want a practical, ethical roadmap to build your first $10,000 online, check the link in the description or the pinned comment. My ebook, 7 Systems to Make Your First $10,000 Online, costs just $7, comes with a 7-day guarantee, and focuses on creating real value, not shortcuts. Wealth doesn't have to corrupt. In the right hands, it compounds good.